Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Easy Sewing with Tyke. My name is Taiwo. What I have for you on the channel today is the making of this cute and chic off-shoulder alternate dress with gathers around the neckline from scratch. Okay, so if this is something you're interested in, then I suggest that you watch till the end. Now, if today is the first time of coming across this channel, you're welcome. A round of applause to you. Thank you for stopping by. You will love it here. To all my returning subscribers, you're welcome as well. Shout out to you all. Thank you for always. If you're yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Please hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you gain value. I know you will, okay? Put on the post notification, share. You don't want to enjoy all this goodness alone. Also, I would love to know what part of the tutorial you like the most, okay? So drop that in the comment below. Now let's get started. For this tutorial, I'll be making use of 2 yards of Ankara fabric. Now you know that a yard of Ankara fabric here is 35 inch. So 2 yards I have 70 inches. Then I folded that into 4. That is why I have 70.5 each, like so. So I just folded my 2 yards of Ankara into 4 and I placed it on my table like that. So that chalk line is where I'm going to start all my measurements from. You are going to see the reason why as we progress in the class. Now looking at this style that we're about to make, you can see that this alternate dress does not have a shoulder, so we can call it like an off shoulder alternate. You can see that is a rope that is replacing the shoulder there, so it means all our measurement is not going to start from one. You have to determine how low you want it or where you want it to start from. If you want it to start exactly below your neckline as it is in this style inspiration, then you can come down by 3, but that is a bit too high for me, so I'll be coming down by 4.5. So it means this 4.5 would be replaced with the rope, okay, when we are done sewing. I'm going to start all my measurements from 4.5 inch. So between 3 to 6 inches is okay. Just determine the length that you want to replace with the rope. So once that has been determined, I'm going to input and put in the chest line, and I'm working with 9 inches because this is not a fitted dress. I'm working with 9 inches. I'm going to go ahead and roll all of that across. After which I'll go ahead and input the full length of the dress. You can see that I'm still starting all my measurements from that 4.5. You want to take note of that. So I'm going to make sure that I started from the 4.5. Then I'm going to input the full length of this dress, and I'll be adding the folding allowance at the end to it also. Once I've gotten that, I'll go ahead and roll it across. Now going back to the chest line measurement, I'll go ahead and input my bust measurement. So the bust measurement that I'm working with is 40. No, this is not my fitted bust measurement. The fitted bust measurement is 38, 39. So I just added 1 inch for ease because I do not want it to be too tight. So I'm working with 40 inches. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add just 1 inch sewing allowance at the side. It is more than enough. That will suffice. So now on the start point, that 4.5 mark where we are starting all our measurement for, I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 1 inch from what I have there for my bust measurement, which is 9. Remember that bust measurement was divided by 4. So that is because at the end of the day, the rope that will be passed through this neckline, it will form like a sort of gathers. So you want to have a bit of excess there. You don't want to have a fitted measurement there, which is the reason why I'm just coming in by 1 inch from what I have on my bust measurement. Now I'm going to connect it like so. I'll be connecting it from the bust measurement, okay, all the way up, not from the 1 inch sewing allowance. Once I've connected it this way, I'm just going to come with a curve like that to connect it to the sewing allowance. After which I'm just going to connect it from that bust measurement allowance all the way to the hem of the dress, exhausting all the width at the hem, so that I'm going to have something like an A shape It's not even like an A shape, it's an A shape. So you just want to connect it that way. You want to slant it all the way to the hem of the dress till you exhaust the whole width, that is the whole 17 and half. Remember that this fabric was folded into 17 and half each when it was folded into four. So this is what you want to have. I am not going to take my waist measurement or my hip measurement because I know that already I would have excess on those area. But just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and put in my hip line. So the hip line that I'm working with is 26. Then I'm going to see the measurement that I have there. So the hip that I'm working with is 44. So you can see that after marking out 44, I still have almost 4 inch excess there. So there's no way this dress will be fitted. It will be free at the waist and at the hip. Now, because I don't want a sharp curve at that edge that way, I'm just going to give it a curve like so. After which, at the upper part this way, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. Now this 1 inch is for casing. That is where the rope is going to pass through. So you can see the reason why I did not start my measurement from the selvage area. Yes, it's so that I can add this allowance when I'm done. So I'm going to connect the 1 inch that way and then extend the armhole like so. Now, if you check the neckline area, you will notice that there's a slit at the center that way. Yes, so you want to determine how long you want your own slit to be. So mine, I'll be working with 3 inches, but if you want yours to be as long as what we have there, then you can work between 4 to 5 inches. So I'm just going to note that. So I'm going to cut it through when I start cutting everything that I've chalked out, but I'll be working with 3 inches. And also I'll be noting where my pocket is going to start from. So I'll be adding a pocket to this dress, and I'm just going to come down by 1 inch from the half length. So that's where the pocket is going to start from. I'm going to notch that when I'm cutting as well. Now I'm done ahead cutting it out. So this is how the casing is going to be like once we hit the sewing machine. Then that lower part that I told you earlier, I'm just going to give it a curve this way, and I'll be slitting it through. So for mine, I'll be having the slit both at the front and at the back. But at the end of the day, I would have preferred if I had left it only at the front. So you can do you. But for this tutorial, I actually created the slit at both the front and at the back. So I notched where my pocket will be starting from earlier. Then I went ahead to cut out facing, okay, for the slit that I'm going to use to turn the slit neatly. So you can see that it's just a bit longer than the slit length and wider by 3 inches. So I'm going to cut it through like so. So the facing is ready. The rope too is ready. I do not know the length. I just cut the longest rope as possible, but the wideness is 1.2 inches. So I'll be folding this to create the rope. And here's the pocket. So the dimension of this pocket is 13.5 by 13.5. Now that everything is ready, it's time to move over to the sewing machine. First thing I'll be doing is to sew the rope. So I folded the upper part that way to achieve a neat look. Then I just folded the rope this way into two, and I'm just going to sew on it neatly like that, as close as possible to the edge. I'll keep sewing till I reach the end to achieve my rope. Now, starting with the facing, I'll go ahead and sew off the edges neatly to achieve a neat look. So the side facing me is the right side of the fabric, and the side facing the machine is the wrong side of the fabric. So I'll be placing the right side of the facing on the right side of the fabric. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew it all the way that way using half an inch. I'm just going to sew it neatly, after which I'm going to notch it, especially that V part, the deepest part. You want to make sure that you notch it neatly. Then I'm going to flip it over. and sew on it this way to keep it in place, so that when we are creating the casing that the rope is going to pass through, it's going to be easy. The next thing to do now is to fold the armhole. You just want to sew it by 1/4 inch that way, or you can turn it neatly with a bias, whichever works for you. Just make sure that you make it neat. You can even weave it and then fold it once, but since I'm not weaving it, I'm going to be folding it twice, just using 1/4 inch. After which I will start creating the casing where the rope is going to pass through at the neck. So remember the 1 inch that we left when we were drafting at the upper part. Yes, you want to fold it in such a way that you would have enough to accommodate the rope that is going to pass through. So that's what I'm doing here. The casing is ready, so you can see this is what I have. So I'll go ahead and repeat the same process for the back. You know, the front and the back is basically the same thing, so I'm going to repeat the same process for the back as well. Now to fix the pocket, I'll be coming down by 2 inches. Then I'll be measuring the pocket opening and working with 6.5. So I'm going to have that 2 lines marked out. Then I'll be marking out just 1 inch like so. I'm going to have that marked out as well. So I'll be placing the 2 inches. I'll be placing it on where I notched earlier, where I said my pocket is going to start from, which is 1 inch below the half length. I'll place it there. Then from that 2 inches mark, I'm going to sew it all the way to the 6.5 mark, just like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and notch it. I'll be notching it at that 2 inches mark and this 6.5 inches mark. After which I'll go ahead and top stitch on the same area I just finished sewing. Now this is optional. The next thing to do is to fold the pocket to the right side first. I prefer doing this so as to give it a more firm look. Then this is the upper part. That 2 inches area is the upper part. I'm going to go ahead and give it a cuff, just because I do not want my pocket to be dangling. Since this pocket is just going to be hanging there, it is not attached to the waistline. Then the lower part, I'm just going to sew it straight like this. You can give it a cuff at this place too, it's optional. Now I'll turn it over to the wrong side and I'm just going to sew it over again. I prefer to sew my pocket this way because doing this, I'm rest assured that the pocket is sturdy enough and little weight will not just make it give way. And voila, the pocket is ready. That is that about that. But I'll be putting the link in my description box to more videos that I have on how to make pockets, in case this one is too fast for you. So now I'm just going to go ahead and place the front and the back together, right side facing right side. Then I'm just going to go ahead and join it at the side using the 1 inch that was added for the joining. Now when you are joining at the side, like I always say, you want to make sure that you do not sew over your pocket opening, so you want to make sure of that. So I'm not going to sew it all the way to the end because I've not hemmed the lower part, so I will stop few inches away from the end and I'm going to go ahead and hem the lower part this way. After which I'll go back and conclude the joining at the side. And the final thing to do on this dress is to pass in the rope. So I'll be passing the rope with the help of this safety pin. Now you can decide where you want your rope to start from and where you want it to end. Since this has a slit in front, you can decide that you want the rope to start and end at the front. You can decide that you want it to end at the shoulder. It is up to you. So right now, where I decided that it's going to end is at that slit at the back. So that's why I started passing my rope from one side of that slit at the back, then I pass it through at the shoulder like that, and I'm going to show you the final results. So this is it. This is what we have. You can see that knot that I have there. That is showing where my rope is starting and ending from. You can choose to make yours to be right on the shoulder. And that will be all for today. Now, did you gain value? Did you learn something new? Did you enjoy the tutorial? If the answer to all of this is yes, then kindly let me know in the comment below. Hit the like button also. Share, okay, you don't want to enjoy all of this alone. And subscribe if you are yet to. You can also follow me on other social media platforms. It's Easy Sewing with Tyke. Till I see you in my next tutorial. Bye.